All right, folks, we are live. This is here at the Defiance Daily Show. This is breaking news. I jumped in studio here real quick after I saw some of the headlines coming out. Folks, this does not look good for Charlie Kirk. The video is pretty hard to watch. He was clearly shot in the neck. This was over at Utah State. So we're going to do some coverage here today. I'm going to try to get the latest. I'm going to try to get the latest details on the shooter. But folks, I don't know if I want to show the video here because it does not look good for Charlie. Please keep him in your prayers. You know, we're seeing this leftist violence that's going unabated, unchecked, and now we're seeing the consequences of the lack of accountability, the rhetoric, and the absolute vitriol for folks on the right and speaking out at these events. Charlie's putting himself out there like this, and it looks like he may have lost his life in doing so. And I surely hope he's okay. But what I'd like to start out with is a prayer to Saint Michael. Uh, I think it behooves us to reach out to Saint Michael and pray for the battles against the evil that's against us. All right, bear with us here. Saint Michael, the archangel, defend us in battle. Be our defense against the wickedness and the snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. And do thou, O Prince of the heavenly host, by the power of God, thrust into hell Satan and all the evil spirits who prowl about the world seeking the ruin of souls. Amen. So, folks, if you're tuning in live, this is the Defiance Daily Show. We're going to cover the breaking news here about Charlie Kirk. Now, what I first want to get into is, man, the video is, oh, this is not good. Okay, I do want to see, oh my God. All right, folks, I'll show the video. This is going to be for a brief moment. I'm only going to show it once. You can get on X for more information, but this is from Utah State. This is the version going around as far as the shooting itself. Guys, viewer discretion is advised. Okay, I'm about to show this, and this is not for the faint of heart. So bear with me here. We're gonna show this here.
Not counting gang violence. Great. Not counting gang.
Okay. Okay, so we can already get some of the media reactions here. You can already see the souls of Satan at work here. MSNBC anchor apparently lashes out at Charlie Kirk after he was shot. Let's take a look at this.
Yeah, we're showing, by the way, our affiliate in Utah and the aftermath of the shooting. You could see people running away pretty quickly, as you would imagine they would do at gunshots. The FBI director, Kash Patel, has weighed in on this. He just tweeted the following: "We're closely monitoring reports of the tragic shooting involving Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University. Our thoughts are with Charlie, his loved ones, and everyone affected. Agents will be on the scene quickly, and the FBI stands in full support of the ongoing response and the investigation." Charlie Kirk is a divisive figure, polarizing, lightning rod, whatever term you want to use. Why?
Well, he's one of MAGA's most prominent voices online. He hosts a near daily podcast. He opines on almost everything. He's been very closely aligned with the president since his initial run for office in 2015, 2016. And his ties to Trump really elevated his own brand. He was really quite young as an activist when the president launched his initial campaign. And he has kind of ridden along with MAGA since 2016 and built up a massive, massive brand of his own. His group has brought in tons and tons of money.
I don't really feel like listening to MSNBC for the rest of the broadcast here, but clearly this is not a good situation. I want to find more details. So you guys are going to be following me live as I uncover more information. If you have any details you'd like to share, please feel free to drop them in the comments, and I'll make sure I try to get to the coverage of it. The main thing I want to see now is apparently this is. Reports are coming in at this moment that this is the shooter. So it's looking like a baby boomer Democrat. this is I'm very curious to see how this is going to unfold. So we don't have a name yet, and it's unconfirmed whether or not that's the shooter or just somebody else. Uh, man, uh, I really hope so. Charlie Kirk is a wonderful, masterful debater. He's just on the forefront of all these movements, and he's a very important figure, not just for MAGA, but just for sanity as a whole, especially on these college campuses. And we're seeing how powerful his message is to somebody who feels the need to just shoot him like a coward in the middle of a speaking engagement. So very shameful. Bear with me, folks. We'll be right back after a couple messages here. Bear with me. Okay, folks, sorry about the brief interruption. I'm also simultaneously trying to get some work done while I'm up here, so please bear with me if I cut to break real quick. But yes, no name of the shooter so far. Apparently, this suspect that I just showed on screen, he looks like a man in a 60s, bald head, glasses. Um, Apparently, he's been taken into custody by Utah Valley University. This is Utah Valley. I said Utah State. I apologize for the mix up there. Let me see what else we can uncover today. But this is, I mean, he's a father, he's a husband, he's got wife and kids. I mean, this has got to be absolutely devastating. I can only imagine what the family's going through. Be sure to keep him in your prayers, him and his family. Because this is absolutely it's getting out of control now. We got 2 attempts on Trump's life. We already saw what happened in North Carolina. All right, we've got some deranged lunatics out there setting policy. We've got deranged lunatics out there in the crowds at these events that can't handle their feelings getting hurt when they lose these debates. Charlie Kirk is very, very vocal and very on point when it comes to his messaging and what he believes and articulating as much. And this is absolutely shocking. Um, hopefully you'd like to see a federal case come down for this, and I'm sure knowing Cash Patel and who's running the FBI now, that I'm sure they're going to get involved. Man, this video. So it was a single shot fired from the crowd. I'm not sure exactly where in the crowd. I don't know if this was a pistol, if this was a rifle. Um, it looks like after he gets shot, people are kind of looking up. Oh, I'm trying to see where they're looking as the shots came out. So they immediately panned to the right as if he was coming to the left side. So you're seeing the video. I'll show you this. We're seeing the video. I'm going to cut out the as he's getting shot, you see everybody panning to the right. So the camera's facing the stage, the podium he's at. He gets shot there, and then everybody's panning to the right as if the gunshots are coming in those directions. I know it can be a little confusing in the midst of chaos. It could have came from a completely different direction, but this is absolutely shocking. This is this is not an ideal situation to be in, right on the cusp of some of this anger and vitriol that's coming from the left in these things. We got trans shooters. We've got people on subway buses with or trains with 14 convictions, not staying in jail, killing innocent women. A gal that came over from the Ukraine, she was safer in her war zone than she was coming over here to North Carolina. And now this. So I don't know what to make of this. This makes me sick to my stomach. And I just, it's needless to say. I mean, we really need to think about what is this country going to look like in a year from now? What does the future hold for the United States and all the people who are on the? I mean, this is a shocking moment in our history, without a doubt. Um, this was during a Q&A session, and you know, here's the other thing too. I don't even want to show the responses on Twitter where the left is celebrating this because it's coming. When we talked about on the show how the folks they hate you. They would dance on your grave. These are the Covidians, the petty authoritarians that were just relishing in you getting fired, losing your job, for coercing family members to take jabs. People are still dying from this stuff. They don't care. This is all about the worship of the state for them, and because of who's in office, they can't help but it doesn't matter how any good things that the president does. If his name's DJT or any association with it, everybody according to them deserves to die, and we're seeing this here. So I expect nothing but gaslighting. We're going to see this unfold in real time here today on what type of responses we're going to see from the media, from these headlines. So bear with me, folks. We are breaking this live, so I'm discovering more information as the minutes go by and checking my phone as well. And I just can't believe this. This is absolutely shocking. This is absolutely shocking. In the midst of, again, there's more footage coming out, by the way, of some more bus attacks that are going down. This is just the latest one. You know, just wonderful state of affairs with the media and the lunacy and the talking points and the vitriolic hate for anybody. This I know that's hard to watch, folks. That was where is this from? Let's see this. This is absolutely shocking. This is just absolutely shocking. I'm not sure what to make of this. I'm not sure what to make of this. So let's see here. Yeah, I know I'm getting a lot of messages in here, folks. I that Yeah, that it did kind of look like a kill shot. I'm gonna be honest with you folks. I only played it once. I'm not gonna play it again here. You can see the videos on X for yourself, but he was that looked like it hit an artery in his neck, no doubt about it. Uh this is just this is absolutely insane. All right, let's see what we can uncover. This was a hunting expedition against Charlie Kirk. I just can't believe this. Okay. Yeah, this is a good message from Cernovich here. I tend to agree with him quite a bit. The alleged suspect who shot Charlie Kirk appears to be a boomer, but that is not who we consider responsible. The far left wing billionaires, including some who have cozied up to Trump, are. We will not let them hide behind some patsy. No one has the patience for this anymore. It's a good point. The rhetoric and the constant labeling of your political foes as Nazis and just absolute divisive scum and advocating for genocide, all from talking on campuses. Charlie Kirk talking on campus because his points are hitting home and he's the one who's the violent one, yet he's the one getting shot. Trump was the one getting shot. And now we get to, you just wait and see, folks. We get to just watch the media and the narrative from the left as they gaslight us into oblivion and is saying they're not responsible. There won't be any accountability for them on that side. They can't do it. They can't come out and admit, maybe we've took this a little too far. Maybe because they're the party. It's the left leanings of the people who are chopping genitals off of children. I mean, these are the people that they want to get in your face. They want to get in your children's spaces to put their ungodly nature and torque all over the stage in front of your kids, putting pornographic material in your books. How much longer are we going to put up with this kind of shit? And now we get a huge figure who gets shot on here, and we just get to just like with Trump, it kind of goes in the wayside of the media, and it's going to be calling Charlie Kirk divisive after he was shot like this. Um, I mean, I just I don't know what to make of it. I really don't. So I am oh God. He's in guarded critical condition, but he may have oh my goodness. Yeah, that's definitely a artery that was hit. I cannot believe this. Man, Charlie, if you can make it out of this, my goodness, um, it would go a long way. Oh my goodness. So we got a message on this is from Glenn Beck. Let's hear what he has to say on here.
Just about to record my show for tonight. When I looked through the glass of my studio, my wife was standing there, and her face spoke volumes to me. And I said, "Stop, let's wait. I need to talk to my wife." My wife was on on her phone with my daughter and my son, who were at a Charlie Kirk event today. And I have just received news that I'm not even going to repeat because I don't have it. Confirmed. We will confirm what's going on. And when we have solid information, we will bring it to you. And we will be live tonight at 9 with all of the information that you need to know.
Yeah, folks, this is devastating. One of the interesting things about spinning up this broadcast at Defiance and all this is people like Glenn Beck, people that are putting themselves out there. My wife, she worried about this. Um, at one point, I remember setting my personal Facebook profile to public just to get some more audience outreach for the show, because we had a separate page that was having trouble with Facebook. We were getting anyway, and immediately I was flooded in my inbox. Things about my dad, things about my family, just absolute violent type of rhetoric just from promoting and making my profile public. I immediately switched back to private. But this is who these people are. So we can't let them just continually get away with the rhetoric that they've been doing. It's time to really start pushing back against this type of shit. How long can we keep letting our streets just absolutely run roughshod over innocent people? I mean, this is officially out of control. It's officially out of control at this point. So whether he makes it through this or not, it just I cannot believe that I'm sitting up here covering Charlie Kirk getting shot in the neck. This was not on my bingo card. Okay, this is absolutely insane. Folks, if y'all have any detail, please feel free to send it my way, and I'll make sure to cover it. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to uncover. We're all seeing this live in real time. It looks like Alex Jones and is they're saying that they might he might be gone. He might be gone. Folks, this is there's really no other way to put this other than this is a war. And for those of you who pay attention to politics, but you sit on the sidelines, you're not registered to vote or do any of this stuff, you're in it whether you know it or not. It's all around you. Okay. There's no appealing to people that think you are evil and you deserve this, what happened here to Charlie. You're in a war whether you know it or not. So how much longer you can sit there beside yourself and chase your pleasures, chase your entertainment? How fucking long can you keep doing that? You know, 100, 200 years ago at my age, the stuff that the things that men were doing to protect their family, to protect their country, fighting for independence, whether it's from Great Britain or from the federal government itself in Texas. How much longer are we gonna keep being victims to this insanity? This is not bad policy. This isn't this is a war that you're in. You're in a war, whether you know it or not. Half-assing support for different type of causes, all this stuff has got to go now. And my God, I sincerely hope to God, please, please, Lord, please let Charlie Kirk make it out of this. Please let his voice get back out there. This is just so he's got kids, he's got man. Yeah, and this another point. The elite leftist brigade, they're not going to change their language just because another commie hurt somebody. This is some notes from Jesse Kelly. It's a good point here. They're not. They're not going to change the rhetoric. So the 16% turnout numbers and all this other kinds of things, yeah, you can do this politically, but there's something else that has to happen here, if you catch my drift. Something else has to give. Something else has to give. The people we've shown here on the video, these mentally ill people that have been unleashed upon the public are the result of these communist and left-leaning ideologies that are absolutely decimating everything. Now, if I what I may have to do, I just I mean the fact like how why does it have to be this risky just to have a conservative event? I mean, I need to know if he made it. I mean, this is driving me crazy. I'm sure all you are right there with me. I don't know how to wrap my mind around this, but we have got a severely sick country. We've got some sick people among us, and I just oh God, yeah. And you're seeing on X, of course, the left leaning accounts. They are celebrating this. This is absolutely shocking. So at any moment, any this time, we worry about this. I know we're here in Texas, but this is why we're very vigilant around this office about our firearms and having them available, keeping things locked up because you never know what type of crazy people are out there. And these people are so adamant about their ideology that they're willing to go to a public event and just kill somebody live. I just, well, I'm already oh, man, and that's a beautiful family there, folks. Beautiful family. And Charlie, he deserves a lot of credit for not only Trump getting elected, but just being running roughshod over these insane college campuses. In the probably 10, 12 years ago, folks that were just now starting to pay attention to them didn't understand the impact he was having on those campuses. Very, very historical. And I just, man, I hope he makes it out of this. I hope he makes it out of this. And, just, yeah. And God, this is one of the worst accounts and one of the worst personality out there. Tariq Nasheed. So this was the White House put, I mentioned out there the young lady from Ukraine. He said, "Where was this same smoke for the white supremacists who shot up children at a Catholic school?" Really? For the white supremacist, the transgender psychopath? He means this is how they'll spin it, guys. Any shooting, even if it's on the left, it's a white person, so it's automatic white supremacy. These people are fucking disgusting. Let's see if we can find anything else because this is so according to news outlets here, this was 19 minutes ago. Okay, so this is a little glimmer of hope now. Yes, Charlie Kirk is alive, but in serious condition. He has been hospitalized for sustaining significant blood loss from the gunshot wound. Colleagues from Turning Point USA and his radio show confirmed to media outlets that he lost a lot of blood but remains alive, and updates indicate he made it to the hospital for treatment. No official word on his long-term prognosis has been released yet, but prayers and support continue to pour in from across the political spectrum. Yeah, right. From across the there's people that are cheering right now. Same people that were cheering for Trump, same people that were cheering for people not taking the jab, dying of COVID. These are the sick militants among us, and they're out there, folks. Um, oh no way. Okay, let's see if this is true. Here's a clip from NBC. Take a look for yourself, folks. Here we go.
In which a shooting like this happens.
Yeah, and again, to emphasize what you just emphasized, we don't know the full details of this. That we don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration, or so we have no idea. But
Did you catch that?
In celebration, or shooting their gun off in full details of this. That we don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration.
We don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration because us conservative Americans, we like to go to public events and shoot guns in the air like we're in a third world country, and especially in the air right at someone at a podium, right? Makes total sense. You don't hate the media enough. And it's not, again, it goes back to the same point. This is a absolute war. This is a war that we're in. And whether you know it, a lot of folks out there are bumbling around, have no idea they're in one. Diet, injections, injunctions. You got militant parts of the population that are just screeching all over the place about the power structure that they're in. I can't emphasize this enough. You got to start paying attention to everything around you. Holding a public event like this and getting shot. And I just saying it could have been a supporter firing in celebration in the middle of a Q&A. Y'all saw the clip, right? Does that sound like, at what point was there a celebration? He was responding. He was responding to someone got shot. Oh my God. See, and when I talk about the leftist elitist people that are helping foment this mentality, this militant mentality for people on the left that this is somehow justified. This is Van Jones. And this was from Charlie Kirk 5 hours earlier today. that all white people have a virus in their brain. Van Jones suggesting that all people have a virus in their brain that can activate in an instant. Hear for yourself.
Even the most liberal, well-intentioned white person has a virus in his or her brain that can be activated at an instant. And so what you're seeing now is a curtain falling away. And those of us who have been burdened by this every minute, every second of our entire lives are fragile right now.
Oh, screw that piece of shit. A virus, even if you hear that, so all you dumbass liberals out there that are sitting there celebrating this, you get ate up by this too, you see, because there's a virus in your brain if you're of Caucasian tone. There's a virus, it can be activated at any minute. We haven't even discussed about the demographic that's causing the most violent crime, even though they're a small segment of the population. Don't talk about that. All you white people out there listening to the show, you got a virus, and it can be activated at any moment. You don't hate the media enough. This is an absolute war. And yeah, we saw this. So you're seeing this rhetoric with this bus attack, and people coming out that black people have a right to violence amid mass outrage for some girl who fled the Ukraine and sat on a bus. That's there's this right. I'm pretty sure whatever ancient grievances that you have, if you're a black person, don't you think you probably caught up with the grievances by now? I mean, how much violence has been caused? I mean, at what point is it even to you? Folks that are alive today that weren't affected by any of the shit in our past. This is pathetic. Yeah, Charlie he didn't deserve this. And the legacy media, these guys are complicit in this stuff. Folks, did y'all see this? So somebody pointed out something on Netflix, and it was about. I got to see this because it's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Let me see here. So let's see here. Somebody could probably help me out in the comments here, but it was a Netflix show, okay, and it was about it was a crime that happened over in Great Britain, and the antagonist in the show is a white kid, even though the person that actually murdered the people was not white. We'll put it that way, right? But it's this kind of stuff that foments this kind of radicalized approach to this. And it's all over your entertainment, it's all over your media to justify this type of violent behavior. And I have no doubt in my mind that this is intentional. And you're already seeing it. I cannot believe that MSNBC is already out there saying it's possible it might have been a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration. I just don't know what to say about this. Yeah, folks, and it's something's got to give, folks. Something's got to give, and I hope to God he makes it out of this. That would be so amazing. But this type of stuff, this is only. I hope for those of you who kind of, when you've been following politics and you see this kind of stuff, this makes it a little more real. I hope, in your minds, with the fact that we are at war with each other, and it was fomented and created by billions of dollars in spending and what are called gray men, people that go between the chess bar. I'm not talking about aliens. I'm talking about people that can get things done behind the scenes through marketing, through PR development. They have created this nightmare scenario for our country. And I don't know how do you olive branch to the other side with this kind of stuff? Because, you know, we saw during Trump's attempt, people that are calling it fake, even still, um, they're celebrating it. And there was, after my pops passed, there's stuff I hadn't told my family about what I saw people saying and posting about my dad. I just tried to scarb it out, but these people are they are absolute evil, and they will swallow any narrative that supports this type of behavior. Um, I just I just can't believe this. God, you need a miracle. Just need a damn miracle. Glenn Beck breaking. This was 25 minutes ago. He said he's getting word that Charlie Kirk has been stabilized. I hope to God that's true. The hospital is taking blood now. So here's some video of them arresting Charlie Kirk's shooter. Let's see. I don't know if this is verified, folks, but you're seeing this live with me.
This is the guy that shot him?
Yeah, pick his feet up, motherfucker. Yeah, and again, folks, the other thing too is, yeah, is that for sure the shooter or not? We really don't know. Yeah, and here's another. You got Trump going to some dinner, and some Free Palestine protester called him the Hitler of our time. That right there is exactly what I'm talking about. And of course, you're getting the mainstream leftist politicians. Of course, they got to poo-poo it. Gavin Newsom, he posted this. The attack on Charlie Kirk is disgusting, violent, reprehensible in the United States of America. We must reject every political violence in every form. Yeah, and here's some of the responses. I mean, you tell me.
Respect and appreciate that. But right now, with all due respect, we're walking down a damn different path. We're fighting fire with fire, and we're going to punch these sons of bitches in the mouth.
Well, okay. I just can't believe this. I can't believe this. Let's go on. Let me see some more information here. All right, I got some answers in the chat here. Oh, it's the other chat. Bear with me. Let's see. Oh, Steve, I'm not seeing anything. Big D, if you could, if you Google chat it, I'm not sure that I'm seeing it up here on my screen. All right, bear with me, folks. Yeah, this is part of the coverage live. We haven't done many breaking live segments here, but this is the last one was when the bombing started. Yeah, that's a good comment here. Whoever that boomer was, we know he was an ideological foot soldier of the far left wing billionaires, incubated with anti American agitprop. No more hiding behind dark money groups. No more playing dumb. We know who's accountable for today. Okay, I think I just saw the chat come through. Adolescence, that's the one. Adolescence. Okay, so let's dig into this little example here. Thank you, Daniel. Okay. So I'm just going to walk you through a prime example of exactly what I'm talking about. Bear with me. I'm going to do a little research on the fly here. This is the Defiance Daily Show. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. The Netflix series Adolescence. Okay. Bear with me here. Netflix race swap. Apparently, I can Google that. Let's do that. But this is the show I'm talking about here. Let me see if I can get some images onto this. I'm going to get you kind of a overview. So, okay, so the show itself is not based on a true story, but it's a series of real life incidents of knife crime and violence by young boys against the girls in the youth thing. Small problem though, right? Take a look at the poster here. Yeah, let me see if I can get this up. Take a look at the poster here. Now, when you're tuning into this show, what do you think? Who do you think is the criminal here? Who's the bad guy? Who would you guess? Who'd you guess? Let's figure it out. Well, so this is an AI overview from Google. The Netflix series Adolescence is not based on a single true story, but was inspired by a series of real life incidents of knife crime and violence by young boys against girls in the UK. The show explores the complex motivations and societal factors behind sex acts. Really, it doesn't explore complex motive. It just blames white people. That's really what it comes down to. It's a 4-part British limited crime drama series that premiered on March 13th, co-created and written by acclaimed actor Stephen Graham, screenwriter Jack Thorne. The series was directed by Philip Barantini. Let's see here. Okay. The story unfolds in real time over 4 episodes, each focusing on the immediate aftermath of a shocking crime, the stabbing death of 13-year-old Katie, allegedly at the hands of her classmate, Jamie Miller. So it was saying that the creators of the show said it was influenced by a documented 80% surge in knife offenses over the past decade. That's a hell of a lot of knife crime. Yeah, they don't have guns over there in the UK, but they always find a way, don't they? Let's see here. Yeah. And really, when critics were pointing this out, how this is obvious propaganda and so forth, when you go to the actual knife crime statistics, it's anything but what was replicated in the show. So, and as Dana pointed out, that's you can call it a Netflix race swap. And let me find, because there was a recent stabbing that I know we covered here on the show. This was a couple months back. And I believe it was at a daycare. This was in the UK. Let me see if I can. Oh, God. Yeah. So I'm going to show you the picture, folks. You're going to remember exactly what I'm talking about. So these knife crime statistics and Netflix putting out this series, putting these complex motivations and societal factors. This is as complex as it gets. Here's the victims. Here's the attacker. Does that look anything like your? You see that? Let's play spot the difference. Who can spot the difference? Yeah. What do y'all think here? Now, what's my point in covering this, folks? You're living in a wartime scenario. During wartime scenarios, in this particular type of, everybody thinks of wartime scenarios as if, You got soldiers over here. They're going to shoot those people over there. Wars are actual complex type of situations. A lot of times, wars are meant to change the internal culture of your country more so than it is to supposedly fight these enemies over here. You lose a lot more rights in wartime scenarios than any other time. And during this time, during wartime scenarios, you get inundated with hardcore propaganda, bad propaganda, because there is such a, if you're familiar with propaganda and the terms, everybody does some form of it. So there's good, there's bad, and there's motivating propaganda. This no doubt is motivating propaganda. The other part to this is, when you looked at what happened on the bus with the young lady from Ukraine, what did you notice besides, her getting stabbed? And I'm not going to show that because that's enough for 2 days in the news cycle paying attention to this shit. Everybody around the girl who got stabbed did nothing. They stood there. They watched her bleed out and die. Not didn't come up to call 911 or, maybe put some pressure on the wounds. They just sat there and let her die. Got up and walked away. Males, grown males around this did nothing. And it's shocking. But how do you get to that point? How do you get to a point where, oh, that white girl got stabbed, let her bleed to death? Well, there's an example right there. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is such a tiny piece of it. And the thing about getting on here doing this live on the fly is there's tons of examples we can go through about this wartime creation scenario for the population in the United States. And does it look like it's getting any better? Are you looking around? Are you seeing it? Are you seeing you're seeing the fruits of this labor? Millions of marketing dollars and PR campaigns and creating these Netflix documentary series, and even the one about the girl that the kids that got arrested in New York. Well, turning out that Netflix series kind of got turned on its head because it's actually turning out to look like those kids were actually guilty. But race, everything, everybody's got to be compartmentalized in their little groups. Everything's got to be tribal in nature, and there is no cohesion now, to the point where you're getting old baby boomer Democrats shooting up Charlie Kirk at a TPUSA event. This doesn't get better until we make it better. Yeah, you could vote, you could do all this stuff, but there is something spiritually deeper. We are in a demonic battle. And it's a battle against God. It's a battle against everything good and decent. And it's come home to roost. The devil has been unleashed on the public, and you got all types of demons running around the streets and being influenced by these. And you see it with these shooters. And, even the hardcore folks on the Black Lives Matter side saying there's no outrage for the white supremacist shooter. That just that was a man. You can't make up the type of scenario that we are in. And this is, again, I always ask this to our listeners and folks that tune in. Hey, I'm sorry, bear with me 1 second, folks. We'll be right back. Hello? All right, folks, we're back. Sorry about that. We'll get some brief interruptions here and there as I'm trying to multitask and get some of this done. Yeah, and again, we're seeing a lot of conflicting reports now because that's part of what I'm sitting over here texting, trying to find out. Uh, yeah, let's see if we can reverse the feed and if anything new has came up. This is a good point. This is a tweet from Andrew Wilson. Charlie is a normal guy, not even that controversial in his takes. Honestly, if you listen to him, it's really nothing outlandish. That's how far gone the public is that are going through our education systems and getting to these universities and getting radicalized. And these people just shot him just like they shot Trump because he built something in an infrastructure which reached millions. Charlie Kirk just absolutely to say his influence is extremely large is I mean that's to say the least. That's to say the least. Um, I just can't believe this. I can't believe this is what I'm sitting up here covering. Okay, so we got some more genius level material from the media. And again, yeah, they're going to blame Charlie's rhetoric, just like I said earlier when I jumped on here. Don't believe me? Let's take a look.
Then lead to hateful actions. And I think that's the environment we're in, that people just, you can't stop with these sort of awful thoughts you have and then saying these awful words and not expect awful actions to take place.
Matt,
And that's the unfortunate environment we're in.
Turning Point USA has confirmed that he was shot. And there are a number of
Then lead to
You see that really the message to all you plebes out there is shut up. That's the message. There's nothing vile or hardcore or it's only to the feelings of these people that are so insanely radicalized that this is justified. So you hear him right there. Well, by that metric, how many people on the left should feel the consequences of their actions based on their rhetoric, their violent rhetoric? This is absolutely pathetic. Again, you don't hate the media enough. Um, you just when you're sitting there and listening to, people that are covering Charlie Kirk on the left, calling him a Nazi sympathizer, a danger, a threat to the public, that does nothing but embolden wackos like this to come out and just start spraying bullets. So the blood is definitely on the media's. It's definitely on the media's hands. I cannot believe I'm up here covering and watching videos of Charlie Kirk getting shot. Man, and I can't. People like Van Jones and all these people, it's time, baby. It's time to really get up because this right here is the reality of where we are. This right here. This poor girl getting murdered. Now Charlie Kirk getting shot. We got kids being shot up at schools. Everybody's everybody on the left wants that there's no account. They can't take accountability because the second they do that, their movement gets destroyed. Let me tell you something. This pretty much guarantees it's on that path, but only if we do something. Only if we start being more vocal, being more active, and getting in the face of a lot of this stuff. But this is an extremely this is so troubling. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. Yeah, this is I mean even with Trump. Oh man, I need to know if he's gonna make it. Oh no. So yeah, we are getting some reports that he's gone, but again, nothing verified. I just, folks, you gotta count your blessings and make them count. You know, if you're out there on the political forefront of this stuff, and if you're influential to that kind of degree, this is what's at risk for all of us that are that have plans for the future. And I just I can't believe this. Okay, let's see if we can oh my god. So I'm sorry. I just keep seeing the video feed up here, and this is brutal to watch. This is brutal to watch. I sincerely hope he pulls out of here. But all of this vitriol over these feelings and not being able to chop kids' genitals off, and what is wrong with y'all? But again, you know, how much can you the creation and the creation of this mentality, it's not something that just naturally came about. You know, we don't have this uptick in people on Gen Z who now identify as whatever color in the rainbow that's made up today. It has to be emphasized. This is weaponized. This is weaponized stuff. And yeah, you're already seeing. Um, oh, this was an old tweet. Let me see this. Yeah, here's another example. This was an older tweet, but it says, "Who's going to do it?" Referring to killing Charlie Kirk. My God, he's still young too. Yeah, this is yeah, and again, all the people that are spewing the rhetoric now are, you know, they're going to poo-poo it and they're going to hope this goes away anytime soon. Um, you know, constantly screaming about Trump being an evil authoritarian fascist. I was listening to Matt Walsh's show the other day, and you could hear commentary on some of the news broadcast. You know, just absolutely gaslighting the American public into all this crazy lunacy that we're seeing. Um, yeah, I think it's fair to say, folks, this probably is going to change a lot of stuff now. This is more than likely going to. I don't know if it's something good or not. I really don't. But I think it's fair to say nothing may be the same after this. I mean, Charlie Kirk, is he 31 years old, 32? This is war. It's really that simple, folks. You are in a war. You're absolutely in a war, and you better recognize it. Um, this is, you know, it's crazy too. I guess the only time the left cares, well, I guess in the news cycle for the past 2 days, we found out the left actually doesn't care about Ukrainians. So unless we're sending armaments and millions of dollars, but one flees over here and gets killed by a wacko lunatic with 14 priors, you know, then it's then we're being a little too much. We're making a mountain out of a molehill. That's really how it goes with this kind of thing. And I am just I need the details. I need these details. Where did the shooter shoot from, and what did he use? It's unconfirmed, but it looks like a large caliber sniper rifle is what he used. Again, that's unconfirmed. I don't know for sure. And again, I apologize. It wasn't Utah State. This is Utah Valley University. Of all places, Utah Valley, they get shot. People like to say, well, I'm in Texas, so I don't have to worry about this. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You got a whole swath of people that have been radicalized to not only hate country, but hate anybody outside their group, hate anybody that, like it's a civil rights issue that, young children could get mastectomies and get absolutely sterilized. Um, yeah, you really got to start asking yourself, can there be peace with a group that wants you dead? It's really that simple. Can you have peace with these people? Um, I'm holding back a lot here. There's really a lot I want to say, but you gotta be cautious a little bit when you're live on air, unfortunately. But this is this just pisses you off to no end. And political commentary, it's yeah, I really let's see if we can get some live updates here. So let's see here. So bear with me, folks. I'm gonna see if we can find out some fresh information. Let's see if we can get some up-to-date status checks on some of this. All right, so we got BBC. Let's see what the mainstream news is saying here. All right, what we know about the shooting so far: Kirk was shot in the neck during a speaking engagement. Obviously, shot was fired at 12:20 local time, as Kirk was taking questions from a student. He's in critical condition, and it doesn't look good. His colleague told CBS News. Oh, interesting. The university says one shot was fired about 200 yards away. All right, folks, we're gonna speculate a little bit here. Okay, 200 yards. That's a pretty good shot. That's a pretty good shot for. It would have to be a high caliber rifle. 200 yards over a crown directly into the neck. That's I don't know. What do y'all think? That's pretty interesting. That is to me, that's almost sharpshooter level precision, depending on how you look at it. But I don't know. I think the furthest I've shot a deer was not even 100 yards, maybe 80 to 90. And I thought listen, for me, that was kind of a challenge. I haven't done that in a while. So we don't know his condition, his injuries. We don't know the details for the suspect, and we don't know the motive for the shooting. We don't know the motive for the shooting. So this guy that's arrested, here's what's going to be interesting. If it turns out that this suspect is a registered Republican, then I'm going to have a lot more questions about what's really going down here with the 200-yard shot from a baby boomer that far away. So, oh, that's just incredible. This is listen to the oh my god. So this was the Q&A when he got shot. So here was the question that was asked to Charlie. Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years? Holding a microphone, Kirk responds, counting or not counting gang violence, and then he got shot. So you got a lefty up there who's and again, you know, you go on these mass shooting, that's the other part of the rhetoric. There's that white right-wing men are the most dangerous thing. Folks, we've got a sickness in this country. You know, the one thing every mass shooter had in common, they're on some type of psychotropic drug. They were under some kind of psychiatric surveillance. They were on some different, and not just one form of medication, it's a multiple varying forms of it. We're sick. We're a sick country mentally. We are absolutely sick. And all right, we got a new update here. Let's see. Person in custody has been released. This is breaking right now. Okay, so I told you folks, something is off with this. Already something is off here. The university spokesperson says the person who was taken into custody after the shooting has since been released. Y'all hear that? The person who was taken into custody, so that old fellow we just saw in there, he's been released. Who's the shooter? So you're hearing this live right here on the Defiance Daily Show. The suspect that was brought into custody has been released. So the video's going around showing that old baby boomer apparently wasn't the shooter, at least from what we know right now. So, yeah, university spokesperson says the suspect has been released. Witnesses are claiming the shooter yelled, "I'd do it again." So let's see if we can air some of the witnesses.
Vehicle breakdowns are costly.
Let's get the ads out of the way. This is an eyewitness to the shooting of Charlie Kirk. And saying the alleged shooter. Well, then, so somebody has seen the shooter then? Folks, this is where shit gets lost in the sauce, man. This is where things get really weird. I'm going to show you guys live on air. One thing I always recommend doing is local news reporting for the area. Those, you get a lot of wild updates on there. So we'll see if we can do that live here. But here's a CBS report here with the eyewitness.
The alleged shooter actually said. Let's listen.
Yeah, the man who, after they took him down, he yelled, "I'd do it again."
Wow.
Okay, that's what a witness said, that the one shooter who is in custody, we are told, the person said, "I would do it again." Scott McFarlane, as we try to make some sense of this thing here, there is no sense really. What are you learning about the investigation at this point?
The two law enforcement officials speaking with CBS News confirmed there is a suspect in custody right now. The university had said that. Now we have law enforcement sources saying the same. There's
yeah, that's a
that are being shared.
that's an older report. The latest live report is that that suspect has been released. I repeat, that suspect has been released. This is according to BBC News. So we do not have a shooter, folks. We do not have a shooter. Oh my God. Kirk's family was in attendance here, guys. I can't, I don't know. I don't know. I just, let's see if we got a status yet. Let's see if we can get some more live updates. I'm going to try to find a local Utah news. Some folks are saying he's gone. But let's see if we can find out here. Let's see. Utah. Let's go to. Oh, this is interesting. See, I'm telling you. Let's see if we can get some of these local news reports. So this was 20 minutes into his speech. Yeah, and again, the guy that was being led through the crowd in custody, I again repeat, he has been released. And we are just not, But those witnesses were saying that guy was talking about how he'd do it again. Are we seeing a little patsy play here? I don't know. Um, yeah, Kash Patel has announced that of course, they're monitoring the situation. Um, oh my God, he's got to pull through this, guys. He's got to pull through this. Unbelievable. Okay, let's see if we can get let's get some more updates here. I'm trying to find out. So, one good one to follow. This is Fox 13, Salt Lake City. Highly recommend going to the local news reports. Let's see if we can find any other new information here. This is KUTV. Let's see if we've got any latest updates here. Okay, this was earlier today, so let's see if we can get something new. That's not really giving me any new information here. Apologies, folks. Yeah, that was a single shot, by the way, folks. A single shot from 200 yards away. And the suspect has been released. So, who's the shooter? Is the shooter in custody? 200 yards away, high caliber rifle. Where the hell is this guy? Yeah, no suspects in custody. This was 18 minutes ago. Yeah, authorities do not have a suspect in custody. I mean, we all saw the Utah Valley Police taking away somebody, but apparently that's not the that's not. So this was interesting. No security to get into Kirk's event, a bystander said. Despite the large crowd, Kirk drew to Utah Valley University. Witness Tyler McGettigan said he was surprised that he didn't have to pass any security to get in. I don't think that's unusual for those events, for these college events. I could be wrong. It really depends on the screeching that's happening before an event happens if they don't get you canceled first. So the event required a ticket with a scannable code. But he said that he didn't need to get into the amphitheater where Kirk was speaking. So lack of security there. That's interesting, man. You've got to have some security at this kind of stuff. Okay, and this was 28 minutes ago. A spokesperson for Utah Valley University said in a statement that the suspect shot Kirk from the university's Low C Center, roughly 200 feet away, 200 feet or 200 yards. Which is it? This is absolutely insane. Let's see. Let's see if I'm seeing some. Well, let's just see. Yeah, as of right now, he is not confirmed dead. So only that he's in critical condition. Man, I sincerely hope he pulls through it, folks. This is absolutely wild. You're watching the Defiance Daily Show. This is live breaking news report. We're at 3:35 Central Standard Time. So we'll keep. I'm going to keep monitoring the situation here, but this is awful. And y'all have heard my comments on this, folks. You're in a war, whether you know it or not. You're in a war, and a lot of the passive approach to the left's radical ideologies, to the point now we're speaking against them, is evil and Nazi type behavior. This is the consequence of that. So whether you're political or not, you're in this, whether you know it or not. You are at war. You are being tribalized to go at each other's throats. And there's nothing sacred anymore. Absolutely nothing. We've seen the news cycle these past few weeks. Folks, there are deranged leftist lunatics all over the streets. They're your neighbors. They're supposedly your friends. These are the people that were. Folks, I always tell this to people. If you're around people who are COVIDian and absolutely tyrannical in their everyday behavior and celebrating people getting fired for their jobs, you got to get away from these people. There is no cohabitation with people that want you dead, that would celebrate you dying, that would celebrate you not, these are the people that if you don't take vaccines because they're full of the fear porn, that you're the bad guy, even though, if you're vaccinated, your kid, well, why, if you're vaccinated, then why are you worried about me? I'm the one who's at risk, right? Not you. But this is the mentality that we're up against. And I'm actually pretty shocked that they arrested a guy and then let him go. I don't know. The last time I saw something like that was old Sandy Hook. That fella that had the rifle that was in the woods after the school shooting that got apprehended and then was later released. Now, folks, I got a long memory for this kind of stuff. And no, we're not sitting up here and doing conspiracy conjecture. That's a fact. They had a suspect in custody, and then he was in the woods and he was carrying a rifle. And they just said it was some kind of mix up. I don't know what kind of mix up would involve somebody carrying a rifle outside of Sandy Hook. And please, hopefully my show doesn't get flagged and I get in an Alex Jones situation. Maybe I got $1 billion to give the families because I didn't kill your kids. Right. And neither did Alex Jones. But you got to pay attention to these reports. You got to follow this stuff. The first suspect is not in custody. So we don't know if there's anybody in custody anymore. So let's see if we can find out what the hell is going on now. I'm going to refresh this feed and let's see if we can get something new up here because this is, this is now. Yeah. And then, of course, you're seeing people were rushing out of the venue itself, while he was outside after this, which understandably so. You got a shooting going on, a live shooting. I couldn't imagine going to these events to go see Charlie and then this happens. This is absolutely insane. Okay. Let's see if we can get any more updates on here because this is some wild stuff. Oh, the New York Times won't let me see their feed unless I pay them. That ain't gonna happen. All right, let's see if we can go through some more updates here. What is happening? What is happening? What is happening? Folks, if you guys are seeing any breaking news in there, feel free to drop it in the comments. I'll see if I can get to covering it. BBC News headline, Trump ally shot at campus event. Okay. Are you getting my message yet? You picking up what I'm putting down? Why would the headline be Trump ally shot at campus event? If he's a Trump ally, well, then, you see how this is? You see the mentality and the makeup of the people that they put these headlines out for that the left likes to swallow up? A Trump ally. Well, you heard the MSNBC reporter. You go around saying enough of this stuff, you're going to have, violent reactions and all this. There's consequences to your freedom of speech, folks. That's really the message there. Okay, bear with me. Let's see here. All right, folks, I'm going to see if I can get some more information outside of this. It doesn't look like I will be able to, but that's okay. Okay. All right. Let's see if we can get any more information on this. Let's find out. Okay. All right. This is ongoing and developing, folks. So as we get more information, we'll pop back in here. I'm going to keep the stream going. I'm going to see if I can get some. I've got some some critical items to get done here. So bear with us here. This is the Defiance Daily Show. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Oh my goodness. That's a lot of people. Yeah. Folks, we'll come back as the story starts developing, we get more stories. I'm going to go see if I can pull up a multitude of local news reports and see if I can get anything new. Typically in these type of situations, judging from what I saw where he got shot and the amount of blood loss, I mean, we're talking blood transfusion, we're talking this could be a very long operation. And my God, I certainly hope and God bless all you people out there who donate blood and hopefully they got some on standby and ready for Charlie. But this is ongoing and developing. Let's see here. Yeah, regarding the shooter, the suspect remains not in custody despite early reports of a detainee who was later determined not to be the shooter. Okay, and I'm seeing here, yeah, the shot was approximately 200 yards away. 200 yards away. Yeah, and folks, bear with it. There's unverified. I'm seeing them right here. Kind of scroll through. They're saying he's gone, but they're not. Nobody has confirmation yet, so it's still developing. So bear with us here. This is the Defiance Daily Show. I'm going to cut for a quick break. I'm going to see if I can scour some of the local news channels there and see if I can find any information. Hang tight, and we'll be back. And I'm going to keep the live stream going, so feel free to stay tuned in, and I'll pop back in here with more developments as I try to get some work done and try to multitask here. All right, folks, we're back. It appears Charlie has died, folks. So let's see if we can get the some of the official confirmation. I was sent a I can't believe this. The shooter remains at large. The shooter is still at large. I don't know what to say. I can't believe he's gone. Now, folks, if you're tuning in here, there's being confirmed reports. New York Times, NBC, CNN, Trump on Truth Social report that Charlie Kirk has succumbed to his injuries. 31 years old. I don't know what to say. I really don't. I don't know what to say. I can't believe the shooter's out there. I mean, what a fucking coward. 31. Oh my God. Man, this is pretty awful. That's Charlie Kirk, guys. This guy is legendary in his own right. He will absolutely be missed. One of the best debaters of our times. He was absolutely destroying these narratives, and his voice is going to be missed greatly. I cannot believe this is what I'm covering today. I can't believe this. Yeah, what a... Oh. I'm just... people that are... Oh my God. And dying answering a question about left-wing violence. I cannot. Yeah, now we get to see all the leftist politicians that would call him a racist, and game on, man. I can't I can't believe this. We are absolutely in a war. And folks, I'll give you a glimpse. This is what people are doing.
I'm not saying she deserved it, but I'm saying God's timing is always right. And goodness knows the wicked's lives are lonely.
So think you can bridge a gap with people that are cheering like this? This is an absolute war. I cannot believe that. I just can't. Oh my God. Let's see what this fat fuck has to say.
My sympathy to Charlie Kirk's family and to Charlie Kirk, who obviously is, become a target for somebody. I don't know whether it's political violence because I don't know who did it.
Oh,
I know
right,
they seem
right.
to have somebody in
Sure.
custody.
Sure.
But I will say that political violence, unfortunately, has been ratcheting up in this country. We saw the shootings, the killings in Minnesota. We've seen other political violence occur in other states. And I would just say it's got to stop. And I think there are people who are fomenting it in this country. I think the president's rhetoric often foments it.
There it is.
We've seen the January 6th.
There it
rioters,
is.
who clearly,
See, folks, this is your fault. You get it? This is your fault. I think you want to talk about fomenting rhetoric that's getting people killed. You gotta be kidding me. I cannot believe I'm sitting here covering the death of Charlie Kirk. Huge crowd at Utah Valley. Absolutely huge crowd. And MSNBC, here we go. The Trump administration will use this as justification for something. Well, I sure hope so. This is out of control. Officially, this is out of control. I mean, it was out of control enough when we could have been covering Trump getting assassinated. What would the country look like if that would have happened? Folks, this is going to change some things. You hope. But he's gone. He's gone. According to Alex Jones, sources on the ground tell InfoWars that he has been dead for over an hour. Where is the shooter? I mean, Charlie Kirk standing out there in the fire. I mean, what a man. I can't believe this. I can't believe it. And the fact that you already had MSNBC out there talking about, I hate that there's video of him going around. You're with the Lord now, Charlie. Be with the Lord. Now, this is a quote from Matthew Dowd on MSNBC. He is constantly sort of pushing this sort of hate speech aimed at certain groups, and I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which often then to hateful actions. I'm just oh, this is gonna tear me up. Folks, y'all pray for his family, his kids and his wife.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves leaves of grain for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace.
Yeah, that's yeah, this is this should change some stuff. This should shit's why does this feel like things are about to get a lot worse? And then you turn to the media, and they're going to do what even Charlie would predict.
The permission structure for violence. You've got polls about political violence. Democrats don't think it's a good idea. Only Republicans, only people inclined to consume conservative media are now, I think, upward of 50% say that if necessary, violence is okay. You've only got the conduct on one of the two sides. A good idea. Only Republicans, only people inclined to consume.
Look at this smug bitch up here. It's only Republicans. It's only Republicans. Y'all hear that? I really don't know what else to say. I mean, this is damn. Yeah, if you know, you seeing the video, I mean, that it didn't look good, guys. I mean, that was an artery. It looked like it hit in the video. So you kind of a miracle, yeah. I mean, his daughters were in the medical tent with him, and I just sorry, folks. Again, not something I expected to be sitting here covering today. This is shocking, but where's the shooter, guys? We had somebody in custody earlier, so we got an at-large shooter with a high-powered 200 yards away, folks. This isn't some nobody random. This is very odd. This is extremely odd. What is this going to kick off now? You know, what now? And you know, I hate that there's that video going around. That's what all his family get to see, and we all get to replay over is him getting killed right in front of us. I mean, I feel so bad for his family. I can only imagine. Yeah, witnesses were saying the guy that was arrested wasn't the shooter. This was a sharpshooter who planned this way in advance. Perfect shot, long distance. So here's a witness on the ground. Let's hear.
I think whoever did it was a good shooter, a sharpshooter. It was one shot right directly to the heart, and we need to find out who did this. I think there should be a research completely done that took place hours, maybe a day before anything went on. Who could be there and pull that trigger and do it? And I don't think it was George Zim. He was poor, broke. He maybe was on medication, a little bit loony boon, maybe a perfect person to pick and say that did it, but I don't think he did it at all.
So at this point, but did you see him taken into custody? Did you see him with any kind of thing in his hand, any device in his hand or anything like that?
Yeah, I saw when they actually put the handcuffs behind his back.
Okay.
I followed them.
All right,
when
we're
they
going to go to
took him
Jason
the trooper
Chaffetz.
car.
You know, obviously there's going to be.
That's odd to cut that off right at that moment. Folks, this is where, stuff gets weird. I don't think people on the left understand what this does now. I mean, after years of being lectured from the left about violence on the right, yeah, how about that? How about it? Yeah, and this is I know. My wife Brittany, if you're hearing me, baby, I know you're worried. But this um man, I really don't know what to say. It's hard not to think about his little kids and his wife. 31. 31 years old. Uh yeah, something's got to give, folks. Something's absolutely got to give because this is absolutely atrocious. You already got the Illinois governor blaming Trump, blaming the rhetoric. I just Okay. Here's some interesting reporting, and this is where people are going to be compiling these news stories and all the oddities that are going to surround it, and I have no doubt we're going to see some really interesting stuff. Let's see if I can pull this clip here. So somebody got this. Fox News did take this feed down. I don't know if that's true or not, but let's take a listen. What's going on here? Okay, or not. I guess my feed's going down here. Yeah, and folks are you're already seeing man, some of this stuff is ridiculous, but I can't for some reason play this video. This is very odd. I'll just tell you. So apparently this is a video that Fox News took down where they talked about George Zim. Listen closely to the eyewitness account of the Charlie Kirk shooting. So I'll get back to this. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, here we go.
Monitoring and also looking at.
Jackie, 1 second, thank you. Apologize. Let's go to this witness on the scene.
Okay, we just saw this.
And they're arresting a guy by the name of George Zim. Yeah, I know the guy. I don't think he did it. I think they arrested the wrong guy. I think whoever did it was a good shooter, a sharpshooter. It was one shot right directly to the heart, and we need to find out who did this.
Did you see him with any kind of thing in his hand, any device in his hand or anything like that?
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, I'd really like to hear more from that witness. That I thought that was and look, his rhetoric, his all this stuff. This is what they really hate. All right. This is their enemy. You and your family and your kids. I just can't believe this. I can't. This is like it's like a nightmare. This is this is beyond satanic. This is evil. Oh, and there's God, this stuff chokes me up, man. Oh, thanks to these fucking lunatics. Yeah, and there it is. You know, people people are celebrating. This is absolutely disgusting. And what is this? Was this from an hour ago? Oh, while we're at it, there's a shooting at Evergreen High School in Colorado. At least 2 students have been reportedly shot and are being taken to the hospital. Uh, this is breaking. New report saying 3 students are in the hospital now in critical condition. Massive police presence at the school. Folks, what is going on out there? But I gotta say, 200 yards away, you had to have some planning go on into that. 200 yards away, high caliber rifle. That's a pretty decent shot from that type of distance. So, what is going on here? Is there something else to this? Is there another angle to this assassination that we just simply aren't seeing? Um, I I just don't know what to say about it. But this is impacting a lot of people. Um, yeah, and that's a good point. I mean, 200, that is not an easy shot. That is meticulous planning. You had to be propped up, you had to be stable, wind velocity, crowd, accounting for the crowd. I mean, look, I'm just going to say it now. There's probably a little more to this than what we're seeing right here. And then you had the witnesses sitting there breaking some news. Fox News pulls away from that. That's a little odd. And oh my God. Just absolute chaos at Utah Valley. And now we got a school shooting breaking out in Colorado. This is an interesting clip. So this is a clip of Charlie. This is from Chloe Cole. I saw this video this morning on my feed and think it so eloquently explains what Charlie Kirk was put on this earth to do. When people stop talking, that's when you get violence, and that is when civil war happens. Let's take a listen.
I go around universities and have challenging conversations, and because that's what is so important to our country, is to find our disagreements respectfully, because when people stop talking, that's when violence happens.
I've never seen someone do this.
Well, it's a growing trend because people like me are facing violence, assaults, the left. Yes, the campus Antifa. I've been stormed out of restaurants. I've been assaulted publicly, multiple death threats.
Okay, so what's your goal in this?
There's more people that agree with me than some people would actually believe, and they come out of the woodwork when I do stuff like this. We record all of it so that we put on the internet so people can see these ideas collide. When people stop talking, that's when you get violence. That's when civil war happens, because you start.
What a special human being. I mean, and I guess we're at is this the point to stop talking now, folks? What do y'all think? Are we done listening to these people that are it's not just about, some patriotic, they're destroying our country. It's deeper than this, folks. This is a war against humanity. This is a war against your soul and your spirit. This is a war against anything virtuous, honorable, a war against your duty. And I just seeing his wife and kids, man, that is brutal. That is brutal. Somebody posted, you should go see what they're saying on Blue Sky right now. I don't want to watch these people relish in his death. I can't believe this. And listen, this is where this is going to get interesting because people are going to react, right? And this could kick off exactly what has been in the works for a long time. The fomenting of a civil war in America, a modern day at your throat civil war. And if you look at the military planning, the strategic trends and forecasting out of the United Nations, this is something that has been talked. People thought this was coming in the late 90s, and then it kind of went away and then slowly built back up over time. We are in a ripe scenario for everything to fall in line according to plan. So I would highly encourage people, no, this isn't the time to do stupid shit and go out there and start firing off from the hip. It's not the time for that. The long-term goals for a strife in the United States is for a total and military clampdown. It doesn't matter who's in power. It doesn't matter if Trump's up there. This is a recipe if people react and they give the power of the state more power and start doing stupid things. This could get this could turn into this could destroy us overnight. And there's videos here. Whatever. I don't want to play these clips. I don't want to play these clips. These people are fucking disgusting. But I'm gonna whatever.
Fuck
I'm gonna
Kirk.
show you. You need to understand what the reality of the situation is. You know, blase, political, I sit on the fence, I'm an independent, I'm this, I'm that. It's time to stop and understand you have a whole tribal portion of the population across the planet that is being designed and fomented to destroy you and your family. Don't believe me? See for yourself.
There are a lot of people that are like, no matter what side of politics you're on, you should never celebrate something bad happening to someone. I, on the other hand, do cheer when bad things happen to bad people.
Charlie Kirk just got shot. Well, breaking fucking news, folks. Seems somebody just took a shot at one of the Fantafast's favorite 5 mile wide mouthpieces, Charles Chucklefuck Kirk.
Yeah. This isn't about making fun of these people. It's super easy because this is at the absolute lowest level in the scum of the earth. These people have opinions that have been given to them and formulated, putting nose rings and earplugs in, just absolute mental retardation and radicalization. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. So, and I keep getting choked up, but it's when I think about his family. And then you got people out there with their nose rings because they can't handle what he has to say. They can't do it. They can't stand it. The influence of this man just got magnified. So, a little bit of solace for those celebrating on the left. You just made this a lot worse for yourself because this should encourage more people to speak out. This isn't a time to be a coward. This isn't a time to sit on the fence and decide, oh, well, I'm okay with this and ho hum and smoke your fucking weed and just fucking let go. No, it's time to be a man. All right. It's time to get your shit together. It's time to be laser focused, understand the task at hand and what you got to do to protect you and yours. This isn't frisbee golf. This isn't fucking time for mamby-pamby. I cannot believe this man won't be around to father his children and be a husband to his wife because he's just too effective. That's what we need to be. We need to be effective. We need to be extremely effective and unrelenting. This is you got this. You got the yeah, and listen, I'm going to emphasize this again because this is wild. This was a professional hit, guys. This wasn't random. I can't believe this. Oh God, his wife, man. Could you imagine? But listen here, folks. There's something to this. There's something very professional about this shot. And man, I sure hope we find out more about and listen, the shooter is still out there. The shooter is, as far as I can tell as of today, the shooter got away with it. So there's something else for the left to celebrate. How does that make you feel? Who would set up something this complex and get away with it? And what now? Here's some more celebrations from the left. This is a little bit of doom scrolling. I apologize, folks, but sometimes this is how I operate. This is yeah, reading this. Now, the information space is going to be, this is going to get interesting, folks. You will see a lot of misinformation flying all over the place. Now, with regard to, the professional hit like this, yeah, that's part and parcel to this. We saw the same thing after both of Trump's attempts. But what do we know about the shooter and Butler, by the way? Y'all still figured out what's happening here? We are talking about clandestine operations where if somebody's influential enough, that's the other part to this that I can't stop thinking about. Charlie Kirk right now, super effective. Charlie Kirk 20 years from now, oh yeah, to these people, he has got to go. I think he was marked as soon as this 24 election was over, realizing that, oh yeah, this guy got busloads of people registered to vote and got Trump in office. What type of Charlie Kirk would have been a fantastic president down the road. Absolutely. You can't help but look at Charlie Kirk and think about this along with what does the future look like with Charlie Kirk? This guy is no doubt a threat to the establishment of the New World Order. This is It's very interesting. I'm going to be doing a lot of research on this because I just something tells me there's something much deeper to all this. And pray for his family, folks. Pray for his wife and his little girls. This is I still can't believe I'm up here covering this. Really? Really? I just what's crazy right now is that whoever did this is running around there watching the feeds. I mean, what was this shooter a part of? Yeah, folks, and really over these past couple weeks, a lot of these shootings, the schools, that poor girl on the bus. I mean, it's doing something to me. It's doing something. I don't know what to um I just yeah, and this is a post from Cernovich. We cannot and will not let rage take hold, as such emotions are from the chaotic demons worshipped by the left. The country's fury is righteous, and those who are wicked will face justice, maybe sooner than they realize. Yeah, folks, I know it's fun to talk about retaliation and what we should do, but this is the time to be laser focused. Don't do anything stupid and give the 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 group of people that would absolutely kill you if they had full control and power over you. Absolutely in a heartbeat. Just over any mild stuff. There was nothing outrageous about what Charlie Kirk was talking about that resulted in this other than the mental illness. But again, I can't stop thinking about 200 yards away. They arrest a guy, they let him go, and the shooter's still out there. Trump has, in honor of Charlie Kirk, uh, all American flags throughout the United States lowered to half mast until Sunday. Good for you. I really, really, and this is where this is going to get interesting. They find the shooter, you know, can we trust that it's actually the shooter? I think a lot of folks now are very suspicious of any kind of mainstream narrative from news stories like this. And, the blessings of the bad things because of COVID, because of the assassination attempts on Trump, and now this, and we see how the media coverage, everybody is going to be speculating about everything, which in my opinion, that's extremely healthy. That is extremely healthy. Um, it was in the 60s, we saw a president get shot in front of the entire world. It almost happened in my lifetime with Trump. So you got to ask yourself, what now? What do we do now? What do we do now? How do you fill a void in your family when you lose someone, lose your father? Um, so I'm gonna step away for a second. I'll come back and see if there's any more. But I'm just gonna say a little prayer. Um, oh, bear with me, folks. Uh, God, I'm bad at this. Sorry. Uh, Lord, please watch over Charlie Kirk's family, his daughters, his girls, and his entire family. Um, please help heal the sickness across our whole planet. Please help men become more powerful within their own right and their own reliance and determination and duty and honor. Help us be virtuous. Help us be hardened. Help us not be weak. Help us be the tip of the spear to protect the others that depend on us so much to do so. Lord, you're welcoming Charlie into your arms. You got a good one up there now. And I ask and pray that the violent nature within us stay sheathed, but also point in the right direction when the time is necessary, when it needs to come. Put it at the foot of the cross, and Lord, guide us in every direction towards your path and no other path, as your path is the righteous one. In your name I pray. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. We'll be right back, folks. Appreciate you joining. All right, folks, we are back. We are back. We are back. We are back. And so apparently there has been some videos circulating that shows the potential shooter on a roof platform. Interestingly enough, right? And here's some interesting developments. Look at this, was yesterday. This was a post. Obviously, this needs to be investigated. Said Charlie Kirk is coming to my college tomorrow. I really hope someone evaporates him literally. Let's just say something big will happen tomorrow. And he put a little smiley face there. So obviously, that's worthy note of interest. Obviously, that person should be investigated. And I can't help but thinking the influential nature. So we do know that, you know, historically and of course you can put conspiracy or whatever around it, but I think there's absolute truth to it. When you're influential enough and you might be a problem down the road, that's another reason why they'll come get you, especially when you're this young and as powerful as Charlie Kirk. Could you imagine Charlie Kirk running for office? That fella had the charisma to go really far. President, state, I don't care. This guy, even outside of politics, look at what he's done. Extremely powerful, extremely influential. That's a problem for the powers that be. You can't have people like that. They're already freaking out over Trump. Look what they've done to try to get rid of him. Here's a clip. And this is from Alex Jones. He said this is why they killed him. Let's take a listen.
Political radicalism needs a catalyst. Political radicalism does not come out of peace, prosperity, rising wages, stable families, church attendance, and happy people. Happy people, grateful people do not get behind Vladimir Lenin, and they certainly don't get behind Chavez or Castro. That's right. People that own nothing, that feel like their property is diminishing, or they don't have property, or their dollar is diminishing in value, they start to look for alternatives. And so the political project in front of us as conservatives should be, how do we actually de-radicalize the country in the next couple of years? That's my obsession. And that's why I say I try not to think about all this other stuff, because it just, it's so much brain space. My number one obsession is I know what is coming next. Political radicalism.
And you can't deny the influence and what does that look like? Charlie Kirk, we were seeing a lot of these clips where he was apparently changing a lot of people's minds. I don't know what mind you have on a college campus. I don't mean to offend anybody, but really, like most people what type of mind do you really even have? What do you even know? Am I 37? 37, I think. 37 years old. I know next to nothing. If you listen to these college campus twerps on there acting like they know the whole history of suffering in the world and they've got not a clue. And then you have someone like Charlie coming into these spaces, bravely going into these spaces and doing what he's doing. I no doubt in my mind that man was destined to change some stuff, and it's probably going to happen tenfold now with him gone. All right, here's a clip. This is also from Alex Jones. So Charlie Kirk's assassin can allegedly be seen on the roof of the Utah Valley University running away after the shooting. Plus, speech attendees spot the figure on the roof before the event even begins. So this is the first time I'm seeing this, folks. So let's take a look and get your thoughts. Right there. Definitely looks like a figure running away there.
Getting right up.
Yeah. You think he'd already be in place?
Oh, come on.
So
Folks.
Roof right there?
Folks.
he just ran from over. Where's my finger? Whoa, from over there, ran in. And now he's right there. Just saying.
So okay, well, but hang on,
Just saying. He just ran
fella,
from,
son.
over.
Did you really see that on the roof and you didn't freak out and report it? That was before the event kicked off, folks. Yeah, I what is wrong with people? All right, you got. I think I know the behavior behind the bus incident with the Ukrainian gal. People just standing around watching you die. That's the other problem we got. I don't know how this gets fixed. Nobody coming in to save anybody. It's a free for all out there. It's the wild, wild west with nobody giving a shit about anybody around them. Nobody. This is a problem. That's a problem. I don't like seeing that. You're pointing out somebody on the roof before the event and you're like ho hum, like after what we all saw in Butler, PA, you see someone crawling on the roof, you're not going to go freak out and tell a cop at least? Bare minimum? I don't know. Let's play it again. Look at this right up here. Here, I'll rewind that real quick. It's real fast. Right there. See him running. I'll zoom in here. This is courtesy Alex Jones. Clearly.
Right up.
Yeah. You think he'd already be in place?
You would think that.
That is clearly somebody up there, guys. What the hell what is going on? I can't believe Charlie Kirk's gone. I just and this man, so let's see if we've got any updates on the shooters here. I'm not seeing it there. Let's take a look. I'm not seeing anything on the shooter. I don't know if anybody out there is, but let's I'm going to do a twofold segment here. Let's see if I can Charlie Kirk shooter. I can't believe Charlie Kirk is gone. This is wild. All right, this was 5:43 Eastern, so just about 20 minutes before this. This is from CBS News. Conservative activist and Turning Point USA co-founder Charlie Kirk died Wednesday after he was shot. The suspect is still at large, the resources said. Utah Valley University police said they are going building to building to evacuate people. Kirk was participating in an event, part of his organization's The American Comeback Tour, when he was attacked. Okay, this is good. So listen to how some of this mainstream media coverage is. I didn't know this was a political attack. I thought this was a gay kerfuffle with Nancy Pelosi's husband, Paul Pelosi. Kirk's death comes as the nation has confirmed a rash of political violence in recent years, including 2 assassination attempts against Mr. Trump last year and an attack on Paul Pelosi. The weird hammer story. We never got much clarity on what that weird altercation was about. Probably a little bit of gayness in it. Yeah, we do know a man was arrested outside the home. Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh. Gun, knife, various tools. Yeah, that guy did plead guilty for attempted murder. Jury selection began this week in the trial of Ryan Ruth, the man charged with attempting to assassinate Trump in Florida last year when he was a candidate for president. Roth pleaded not guilty in that case. That's interesting. Yeah, this is and you got Barack Obama out there. But of course, it's he's got a we don't know yet. Here's what Obama said. We don't know yet what motivated the person who shot and killed Charlie Kirk, but this kind of despicable violence has no place in our democracy. Michelle and I will be praying for Charlie's family tonight, especially his wife, Erica, and their 2 young children. Sure you are, buddy. I didn't even know they prayed. Yeah, so we still got a shooter on the loose, folks. No other way to put it. This was a major historical event today. This is on the eve of 9/11, which is also interesting. I just I just can't believe this. I feel so bad for his wife and kids, folks. This is not an ideal situation, but look, we'll keep I'll see if I can tune in later as more developments come, but I don't know what else to provide. I showed you guys the clip of the shooter running across the roof there. Clearly something going on. Clearly something going on. 200-yard shot. They didn't apprehend the shooter, yet they knew the exact location where the shots come from. Things are already getting weird. You got a guy that was arrested saying I'd shoot him again and shoot me and shoot me. And then he was released out of custody. Clearly wasn't the shooter, apparently. And so now we've got a rogue individual out there just with a high-powered rifle. I just look, it sounds like a professional hit to me. It does. 200 yards is not an easy shot. And obviously, you had to really plan out. You had to know quite a bit to get on those roofs and know where Charlie would be positioned. Again, wind velocity, the crowd. You got to account for the crowd. Same thing with Trump. Same thing with Butler. You really think that geeky kid acted alone in a high-profile assassination attempt? I mean, all of this madness that's surrounding us and all this intrigue because we just can't get straight answers on anything. Nothing. All right, so here we go. You want a little bit of taste? Again, just a friendly reminder of what's going on out there. This is a BLM post after the Ukrainian, the young woman from Ukraine was stabbed on that bus. This is the first time I'm hearing it, so I apologize in advance.
Have a right to violence. All oppressed people have a right to violence. And I'm going to tell you something. It's like the right to pee. You got to have the right place. You got to have the right time. You got to have the appropriate situation. And I'm absolutely convinced that this is it. Have a right to violence.
All right. That's a great thing to post. I'm telling you, this is intentional radicalization. And then supporting it. In what world was that man oppressed by anyone? 14 prior convictions and arrests. And he was let out. Does that sound like oppression to you? Does that sound like oppression? I don't think so. That sounds like an unchecked. God, I just. This is devastating. And then people out there wanting to say, "Oh, her death is not it's not supposed to be political." That is those are not the people that we need to be listening to. My God. And this is we are in a dangerous zone, folks, but again, some of my speculation is that shooter's still out there. There was some confusion on the ground with who exactly did this. 200 yards out, looking like it was someone propped up on a roof. You know, is it too far out there to say that maybe this was supposed to be an ignition point to kick something off? I don't know. Again, I'm speculating here, but I think it's a fair speculation given the war game scenarios and what we know our government and these different organizations have been working on for years on end, for decades. This is devastating, guys. Handing out hats to the crowd. What a huge crowd. Awesome turnout. Again, he might have been too influential. That might have been too much for the powers that be. This is this is just unbelievable. All right, let's see if I can get some more coverage on here. Yeah, and people have a long memory. All the people speaking out against this violence are the same people that helped foment the justification of it. Yeah, I think it's fair to say these left-wing NGOs, if there's anything that we can make hay from this, let's get these radical NGOs shut down. Let's get these gray men, these people that go in between the black and white on the chessboard, that get things done behind the scene that nobody votes for. Let's see them hang. Let's see the people involved in this get severe repercussions. That's right. I'm seeing some of these comments on here. People forget the congressional Republican shooting by a Bernie bro, Rand Paul's neighbor, Israel embassy staffers, all the incidents involving the trans-related illness folks out there shooting people up. This is exclusive to the left, and it'll be interesting to see, where what happens next. These politicians and people on the left and these pundit heads saying, yeah, Ezra Klein. God, for those of you who know, in the last few years, we've seen the plot to kidnap Gretchen Whitmore. Turned out to be a total FBI plotted case. That was nothing that was their own fruition. That was led by the FBI, and they were later dismissed of those charges. The storming of the Capitol and pipe bombs left at the RNC and DNC. Did we ever figure out who left those pipe bombs? Did we get any additional information on that? And the people that were involved in antagonizing the crowd on January 6th? The break-in to kidnap Nancy Pelosi and the brutal assault on Paul Pelosi. What? Is that what happened? No. Multiple assassinations against Trump. Okay. So you see what they have to do now. Now they gotta oh, see, it's both sides. It's a political violence is contagious. It's spreading. These people weren't speaking out against any of this other stuff. Yeah, and that's what he forgot. No congressional the congressional shooting, the baseball shooting. This is absolutely insane. Yeah, and honestly, these people that are gonna I mean, is there such a thing as a moderate Democrat anymore? No way this is real. Okay, I'm gonna air this one. So, if you didn't need any more confirmation on what I'm talking about here, Representative Lauren Boebert requests a moment of prayer for Charlie Kirk. Democrats can be heard shouting, "No." Let's hear it.
What purpose did the gentlelady from Colorado rise? Let's wait a minute. Wait a minute. The House will be in order. The House will be in order.
Democrats can't even do a moment of
The House
silence
will
for
be
the
in
guy.
order.
You see, because if you humanize them now, okay, the left's going to have a problem now. How do you keep the rhetoric full force that it's his own fault and all that rhetoric, and then you can't this is going to be interesting to watch. Basically, they can't humanize him now. So is this going to get nastier from the Democrats? They can't even do a moment of silence in Congress for it. These people can't stand for kids with cancer. That little boy that Trump brought to one of the national addresses. I can't. That right there. Okay, so we'll cover more of that on Friday's show, but that is absolutely disgusting. They can't even do a moment of silence on the House floor for him. Yeah, and this was a good point. This was a rebuttal to Barack Obama's response. Obama launched his career working with Bill Ayers, an unrepentant domestic terrorist. He knew what motivated him, and he was not troubled by it. He was at ease with left wing violence, and he's been constantly forgiven for his association with it. Yeah, and BLM posted that video about why political violence is justified less than 24 hours before he was murdered. So, look, and this is, this is you got to read the book Chaos. This was a tweet from Cernovich. Reminder that the CIA and FBI ran mind control experiments and incited terrorism to create a state of chaos. A book on this, Chaos, is a must read. Stay vigilant. I highly agree with that. I think we have that title up there. But that would definitely be something to keep in mind there. This is very odd that the shooter's not caught. Positioned very well planned out from what I'm seeing. Yeah, and you're going to see the mental gymnastics now from talking heads on the left trying to steer away from what they've been doing here. So it's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how that works for them. Yeah, and there's some of these points. I think with some of the things that need to be done as far as these left-wing NGOs, these different bureaucrats, these people, these gray men, these people doing things about when are we going to just let the cards fall where they may? Man, what a just an incredible soul, Charlie Kirk. This was pulled in a quote from this is David Weigel's last in-person interview with quote. His pitch wasn't just join the GOP, you'll get lower taxes. It was that you could give yourself to Jesus Christ and have a life worth living. I quote, your younger audiences love this contrarian, heterodox approach, Kirk told me in an interview in the 2024 Republican National Convention. The mantra is not that if you're a man, you're an oppressor. It's not that having children is a plague on the planet. We're here to say, actually, no, having children is a gift from God, and it's a wonderful thing. We're saying getting married is awesome, and you can reject hookup culture. You know, you talk about a force against the demonic and low life culture that's been foisted upon the people and the young generations behind us. I can't believe this. Yeah, this was a good post. This is from Fisher King at Fisher King on X. They killed a 31-year-old father of two whose only crime was to go to university campuses and engage in good faith with people who disagreed with him. If this isn't a wake up call, then we're never going to wake up. Folks, this is serious stuff. Obviously, without saying that this is very you know, where do you go from here? Where do you go from here? You've got powers that be trying to get us involved in international conflicts. You've got money that's being dumped into these insane armaments for whatever conflicts they're gearing up for the future. These long-term agendas that are they're just being unveiled right in front of us. This is not going anywhere good. And I just the House of Reps they're so in tune with their mentally ill base that they can't even hold a moment of silence on the House floor. Fuck them. Seriously, fuck them. Okay, this was 10 minutes ago, guys. This is breaking news. The subject, this is FBI Director Kash Patel. The subject for the horrific shooting today that took the life of Charlie Kirk is now in custody. Thank you to the local and state authorities in Utah for your partnership. We will provide update when able. Bring back public executions at this point. I mean, why not? So this is I don't know if that's correlated to where the shooter was at, but that's the potential perch for there. I mean, that would make a lot of sense. Still, that folks, that is not an easy shot. So somebody with knowledge around, and oh yeah, by the way, the thing that posted this, yeah, you guessed it, Training Town. God help us. I mean, it's just wild to me that people are zooming in on somebody on top of that building. What the hell? How does nobody? I can't wrap my arms around that. So, we got new people in the FBI So this will be a telling moment for the investigation there. I am how did the FBI catch him? I want to know. I want to know. I want to know. And how do you know? I just it's baffling. I don't know how this is possible for something like this to happen. The shooter just goes loose and now they arrested somebody. How do we know that's the right guy? I don't know. This is all going to be interesting. I mean, God, Charlie was just, it can't be said enough. I mean, he was the most effective culture warrior out there. And he's just out there debating. I mean, come on. Charlie Kirk? Really? And like I said before, these people will dance on your grave. I've seen it firsthand, what it looks like. I just, I don't know what else can be said about it. I mean, it's just absolutely obviously this is shocking, but again, so Kash Patel, he's saying the shooter's now in custody. They'll give some more updates as this come. So I may jump in later as we gather more information about it, but already some weird stuff happening with regard to the shooter. The shooter went down. Well, the supposed shooter, somebody got arrested. They were later released him out of custody. You've got video showing somebody running on the roof, footage of someone on the roof before the event even occurred. Nothing happened. So while they got this, the other suspect in custody, the real suspect runs on the loose, and then somehow the FBI finds him later. 200-yard shot, high-powered, high-caliber rifle, obviously some sort of a sniper rifle. So yeah, let's see how this plays out. But I can't get over the impact to the kids, man. His poor wife. Well, folks, we'll keep I'll keep everybody posted here. We'll come in later this evening. I'll see if I can post. It might not be this whole setup here that you see here, but we'll see what we can cover here. But suspects in custody. And I probably for me, I may not pop back on till Friday. Probably be a good idea for me to just and for Mark too. I know. But probably a good idea just to back away from this for just a minute before we get on air and talk more about it. But Lord, wrap your arms around his family, man. I I I could not imagine losing someone like this. Losing someone on alone is hard enough, but this brutal, violent nature of news, this makes you want to fight. It does. It makes you want to fight. It makes you want to react. But uh, I don't understand how the shooter could be gone for that long after something like this. Like that, I'm still just a little baffled by this. I almost don't want to jump off because I want to know if there's going to be more coming. And I am dying to know everything about this shooter. I mean, everybody is holding their breath. And you can't help but wonder if there's going to be some weird stuff about the shooter once we get more information. you got these videos of this guy running across the roof. What in the hell is happening? This is a good post by Mario Nafwa. Charlie Kirk spent his life defending free speech and encouraging debate across America's divides. He welcomed clashing views, believing dialogue was the antidote to division. Tragically, he was silenced by the very force he warned against, political violence. Kirk was shot in the neck while promoting open discussion and condemning violence. He had long argued that when conservatives are attacked, the media downplays or ignores it. His death now serves as the cruelest proof of that truth. In his final post, Charlie condemned the murder of Irina Zarutska, a Ukrainian refugee stabbed by a repeat offender. I quote, "It's 100% necessary to politicize the senseless murder of Ivana because it was politics that allowed a savage monster with 14 priors to be free." Those words now echo as high as his own epitaph. Charlie Kirk is gone at 31. His life and death remind America that words must prevail over bullets and silence is never an option. So let me see if I can play this clip here and I'll share it with you folks.
On August 22nd, Irina Zarutska was stabbed to death on the rail system in Charlotte, North Carolina by a savage career criminal.
Her life story, I think, will be told both in the United States and Ukraine for years to come. What do you think the importance of this story is most fundamentally?
This was one of the coldest, most senseless murders I've ever seen. She had no interaction with this guy whatsoever. She was sitting minding her own business, and he just takes out a knife and just decides to stab her. I do say this with some form of just heaviness. I don't like politicizing situations like this, but it just necessitates it because there are so many dynamics at play here. Based on the information evidence we have, the attacker did say, "I got that white girl." The attacker racialized it in his own telling of this situation. And we all know this. Any honest observer of your program knows this, including Van Jones even knows this deep down, which is that, of course, if a random white person on a subway took out a knife and stabbed a black girl senselessly to death, there would be massive media coverage. There would be policy changes. There would be people having to apologize for this. We saw this in George Floyd. And yet, for whatever reason, this situation has not garnered even a fraction of that kind of outrage or backlash.
Yeah, by the way, the assailant there is now saying he provoked her because she said the N-word. Who could have guessed that that was coming in the defense? As if somehow that justifies it. This is live right now. This is a press conference here. Let's go.
Normal channels, working with law enforcement. Again, our deepest condolences to the Kirk family and to the students who were there today. I would just ask everyone everywhere to please pray for their family and pray for our country. We need it now more than ever. Thank you.
Oh. Okay.
For our nation. I want to be very clear that this is a political assassination. We are celebrating 250 years of the founding of this great nation. That founding document, the Declaration of Independence, that this great experiment on which we embarked together 250 years ago, that we are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights. The first one of those is life. And today, a life was taken. Charlie Kirk was first and foremost a husband and a dad to two young children. He was also very much politically involved, and that's why he was here on campus. Charlie believed in the power of free speech and debate to shape ideas and to persuade people. Historically, our university campuses in this nation and here in the state of Utah have been the place where truth and ideas are formulated and debated. And that's what he does. He comes on college campuses and he debates. That is foundational to the formation of our country, to our most basic constitutional rights. And when someone takes the life of a person because of their ideas or their ideals, then that very constitutional foundation is threatened. Now, we have a person of interest in custody. The investigation is ongoing. But I want to make it crystal clear right now to whoever did this, we will find you. We will try you. And we will hold you accountable to the furthest extent of the law. And I just want to remind people that we still have the death penalty here in the state of Utah.
There you go.
Our nation is broken. We've had political assassinations recently in Minnesota. We had an attempted assassination on the governor of Pennsylvania. And we had an attempted assassination on a presidential candidate and former president of the United States, and now current president of the United States. Nothing I say can unite us as a country. Nothing I can say right now can fix what is broken. Nothing I can say can bring back Charlie Kirk. Our hearts are broken. We mourn with his wife, his children, his family, his friends. We mourn as a nation. If anyone in the sound of my voice celebrated even a little bit at the news of this shooting, I would beg you to look in the mirror and to see if you can find a better angel in there somewhere. I don't care what his politics are. I care that he was an American. We desperately need our country. We desperately need leaders in our country. But more than the leaders, we just need every single person in this country to think about where we are and where we want to be. To ask ourselves, is this it? Is this what 250 years has wrought on us? I pray that that's not the case. I pray.
All right, apologies, folks. Get a little bit of a stream interruption there, but I'm not sure. Okay, that's the Utah governor. Yeah, I like the reminder there. They still have the death penalty, but man, I have got to. They got a person of interest in custody. Man, it looks like JD Vance is going to travel to Utah on Thursday. Tomorrow. Yeah, we know JD. I know he was close with Turning Point, and obviously with Charlie, and they gave Turning Point a lot of credit, and they should get a lot of credit. Turning Point USA was instrumental in this past election. Instrumental. This is just absolutely devastating. Yeah, and that was the governor. So I don't know if that's the person of interest. Kosh. Yeah, was Kosh saying that he's in custody? Let me go to his feed right now. Kosh Patel. Let's see what he's saying here. Yeah. The subject for the horrific shooting today is now in custody. So, I mean, it seems like they're And then simultaneously, we got this other tragic situation unfolding near Denver. Another, it looks like a school shooting. And so much for the gun laws, right, folks? I don't know who in their right mind thinks any of this shit works. Oh, man, this is just unbelievable what's happening, folks. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable what's happening. Yeah, and now if folks, if you don't have an X account, I highly recommend jumping on it because you want to get yeah, you'll get a bunch of different elements of news, but this is where it's at, folks. This is absolutely where it's at. I just I can't believe this. I can't believe this. Yeah, and I mean, and the governor saying like this is clearly political, folks. I mean, unless it's something a little deeper here. We'll find out more as we get more information on the shooter. You're watching the Defiance Daily Show. We're breaking news here live. It is 5:50 Central Standard Time. Appreciate everybody joining in. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and sign off, folks. And I appreciate everybody tuning in. Unfortunately, I wish we were breaking news. I can't believe the House Democrats objected to a request for prayer. They got to hold up the vitriol for Charlie Kirk, that he's such a bad person they can't even pray for him. That's how. When I told you earlier, they're not going to stop their rhetoric. They're probably going to double down. They're going to gaslight. They're going to find a way to make an argument to blame conservatives for it. They can't even say a prayer for the kid, for him, his family. I mean, for Christ's sakes, what the hell are we doing? How does somebody see that on the roof and not warn anybody? I am completely baffled by this. Oh my God. And Stephen King, listen to this retard. Here, I'll post it up for you. The motivation of the man who shot Charlie Kirk isn't clear, although he's probably mentally unstable. Duh. What is clear is that this was another example of American gun violence. God, you can't help these people with their dead brain matter and the space in the ether of their mind. Cities burning down, American gun violence. What is the solution? You're going to get rid of all the guns so that the only ones that are left are people like this that can go around shooting their political foes? Because that's exactly what would happen. Matter of fact, you can make an argument that's exactly what they want to happen. Do you think folks in the UK or Australia or places like, you think they're capable of properly defending themselves? If some lunatic decides he wants to get, what's the famous ones in Australia? Machetes, right? In the UK, it's knives, and some people run around with guns, not guns that they bought from their local Walmart over there in the UK. These are refugees running around somehow with arms and weapons. So, yeah, and Cernovich is really going after Reid Hoffman. It's all these people that we know are part of the problem. They're part of the narrative. They're part of the instrumental mind fuck to the point where Congress can't even say a prayer for a national figure. I mean, they got to go, man. They got to go one way or another. Their voices need to be absolutely diminished. Their influence. This is
Come to America. She was fleeing.
Oh, sorry. That was really loud. Apologize, folks. Okay, and here we go. Here's some more media reactions as if he didn't need to be more pissed off than you probably already are. Here's the BBC.
It is a really shocking moment, and I was thinking, I've never shared a Trump post in my life. I will contemplate sharing this one, but what I will say with a caveat, he wasn't admired and loved by all. So that's an exaggeration, but the truth is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Sorry,
Let me
Matthew, go
finish.
ahead.
It doesn't matter. It is a really shocking moment, and I was thinking, I've never shared a Trump post in my life. I will contemplate.
Someone
sharing
sounds
this one,
very
but
happy
what I will say
today.
with a caveat, he wasn't admired and loved by all. So that's an exaggeration, but the truth is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Sorry,
Let me
Matthew, go
finish.
ahead.
They hate you. You understand? You can actually hear her smirking and laughing. Guys, you can't make up how bad this whole entire situation is. Oh my God, the retarded bartender that's in Congress. The scourge of gun violence and political violence must end. The shooting of Charlie Kirk is the latest incident of this chaos, and it must stop. We cannot go down this road. There's no place for it in America. And then don't worry, by tomorrow she'll be going on the same rhetoric that's radicalizing people and thinking that their mom and dad who voted for Trump or Sydney Sweeney are actual Nazis and need to die. Oh boy. This is unbelievable. Okay, okay, the videos with him and his kids, I can't. Apparently a boy and a girl. I can this is heartbreaking. Yeah, no, I'm done. This is Charlie with his daughter. This is just absolutely devastating. My God. Yeah, folks, I can. These kids are so young. Maybe that's a blessing, but not having your dad is brutal. I'm so sorry for his family. Yeah, sorry, folks. I mean, He's just going around debating and having open conversations on campus. And this is what happens. This is just, it's not fair to his family. Yeah, and there's other footage of them getting into the SUV, but folks, he does not look like he's alive right there. I don't want to show that. Okay, so I guess this is a new development. Hang on, let me see this here. Apparently, so first they objected when Lauren Boebert put that on there, and this is Mike Johnson. Let's just see this real quick.
What purpose does the gentlelady from Colorado rise?
Oh, okay. So the clip I showed earlier was later part of that where they started booing and heckling, or heckling and saying no, no. But I don't understand what was that moment of silence before that time. I'm a little confused by that. God, this is some brutal stuff, folks. This is brutal. Okay, let's see here. There, folks, and here comes, like, how far gone are you to, I mean, people celebrating? I don't get it. I just don't understand how we could be this screwed up. I just don't understand it. There. I don't know what this video is, but that's just not. Man, this is absolutely crazy. Absolutely insane. All right, so I'm trying to see if there's any more. Yeah, 38 minutes ago, the suspect's in custody. And again, more of these videos are showing someone on the rooftop running. So we'll be seeing how this is going. But folks, you're watching the Defiance Daily Show. We'll be back live here at Friday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. This is a pretty incredible moment in our history, but man, this is not good. I don't think this gets any better. You're going to hear folks from the left. Here come the gun violence. Nobody can ever just, the accountability. It's like oil and water on the left. They just can't have it. They can't humanize Charlie Kirk in any type of way. He's evil. He's a Nazi, all this other kind of stuff. They're just going to ramp up this stuff and hope that it just goes away. They're just going to hope that eventually you stop talking about it, go back to watching your sports, guzzling your beer, smoking, bombing yourself out and getting away from the reality of our everyday lives. And I hope they're dead wrong about it. Let's see something good come out of this. And let's see some vigilance. Let's see some men out there doing something good for a change. But this is man, I just pray for their family, folks. Um, count your blessings and make them count, and keep the ones you love close to you. I just the influence of Charlie Kirk. I mean, needless to say, they. Oh, I'm sorry, folks. Here's a new. This is radio traffic from Utah County Police Public Safety Dispatch. This is him describing the shooter. It sounds like. Let's hear it.
I got the description you were looking for on the temporary for the mail. You ready for that? And on your notes, the description on the mail is all in black, long pants, black bag, aviator style sunglasses with a long gun. Information was given at 13:26. I got the description.
I know that was a little hard to hear, but all in black, black bag, aviator style sunglasses with a long gun. So, we'll I'm going to be very curious to see pictures of the custody or the suspect being taken into custody. Because if he ain't wearing that, I'm going to have a lot of questions, folks. I'm sure we all are. So we'll pay close attention to this investigation and see how it unfolds. But this is just unbelievable. I'm still in shock here, but I think it's time I go home. I'm going to go love on my family, go be with them. But y'all stay safe out there, man. It's crazy. I know my wife worries about me doing this. Brittany, if you're listening, be okay. I love you. But something's got to give. Something's got to give with all this, because the reality of the situation, again, I'll repeat it again. You are at war, whether you know it or not. People that aren't politically involved, if you're listening to this, you need to understand you are at war. You just don't know it yet. And the forces and the intergenerational agendas at play here, a lot of this is not an accident. So we'll cover the details as we get more information about the shooter. Tune in live on Friday. If any more breaking news comes about, we'll pop in here later this evening and see what we can cover. But absolutely devastating and somber day, but also a very telling day. So watch the responses from the left, from the politicians on the left. And I do encourage folks, if you want me to cover something, you got some good material you think that would be good for the show on Friday, go ahead and send it to Defiance Daily Show. You can do that on X. Follow Defiance Daily. Follow us on Rumble at Defiance Press. And then on Facebook, you can just DM me or DM the Defiance Daily Show page, and we'll look at some of this material. But wild stuff. Wild that this fellow was on the roof. He was spotted on the roof, and yet somehow this was well before the event, apparently, and nothing came about for it. That sounds similar, doesn't it? Yeah, so we'll see what gets uncovered. But the suspect is now in custody per Kash Patel. Sounds like he's in FBI custody. Yeah, and the fellow that was arrested earlier, his name was Michael Mallinson, a registered Democrat in the state of Utah. What I'm going to be following is what the witness is saying. How did he get arrested? That seems a little odd, doesn't it? So what events unfolded that made the police think that he was involved? Registered Democrat in the state of Utah. And look, there are going to be Democrats at the event because that's what Charlie was all about, hosting, platforming all these questions to see if he could get some kind of dialogue. And God, and you've seen it enough, right? You've seen the media say that these comments are awful, folks. I don't even want to read these comments, man. I still can't believe this. But folks, you're watching the Defiance Daily Show. We will be back Friday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. If there's any more breaking news on this subject, especially the shooter, we'll pop back on and we'll keep you informed. Appreciate everybody joining. God bless. Y'all take care of each other out there. Keep your sanity. Don't react. Don't do anything stupid. Stay vigilant, stay dependable, and stay armed. So God bless you all. Have a good night.